Hi, welcome back to Handmade. I am Jill, and spring is almost here, which means bunnies and sunshine and flowers and, of course, Easter. So it is no secret that here we are big fans of natural Easter egg dye. We've done a couple videos in the past, but I am back with new techniques and tips to show you how to turn this into beautifully colored Easter eggs. Admittedly, I am the person that goes to the grocery store with the best of intentions every week and buys healthy produce, and sometimes it goes to dye in my crisper drawer. So when your vegetables are beyond the point of eating anymore, you don't have to toss it or compost it. We're gonna give it a second life by making natural dye. But first, to test all these, I'm gonna need a lot of produce and a lot of eggs. I got 8 dozen eggs. I got an extra dozen just in case something happened.
You're getting a lot of eggs.
The first thing I did when I got home was to hard boil 8 dozen eggs. A foolproof method to boil an egg is to fill the pan with the eggs first, cover them about an inch taller than the egg with cold water, bring them to a boil, and turn off the heat and let them sit for 15 minutes. Immediately put them into an ice bath and let them cool. The egg color is decided by whichever produce or spice, even flour you decide to use, but the method is the same throughout. You basically chop your produce or add your spice or seasoning to a pan, cover it with 4 cups of water, add in 2 tablespoons of vinegar, and bring it to a boil. Then, if you need to, you can strain out the produce or the flour petals, and you soak your eggs in the remaining dye. So the raspberry honestly was a little bit of a bust. I assumed that every time I eat raspberries, they stay in my counter, they stay in my fingertips. So I thought, what better natural dye to use than raspberries? And was left with this beautiful water, soaked my eggs in it, and even after overnight, the eggs weren't really absorbing any color. I took them out of the water and they kind of had this really pretty foamy pink color on them. I started to kind of blot it and it completely wiped them off. So I left it on thinking it would dye a really pretty pink hue. Not so much, turned a little brown. Out of all the ones we tested, I give this one a 1 out of 5 eggs. Not so great. Next is blueberry, and you can see this one turned out great. The difference in color is based on how long I left it soaking. So the darkest was left overnight, a full almost 24 hours. I noticed you had to leave them in for at least 10 to 20 minutes at a minimum to really notice any color change, but this is just beautiful, the different colors of blue from navy all the way down to teal and almost like a sea foam. Blueberries definitely get 5 out of 5 eggs. So this is BEETS, which was surprising to me because as you see, the eggs turned out brown. The water was pretty red, and I was expecting a light pink, a light red color, but they pretty much instantly turned brown. Again, this one soaked longer, and you can see the different gradients of color. This one soaked for maybe 20 or 30 minutes. On a scale of 1 to 5 eggs, I give BEETS a 3 out of 5 eggs because they are pretty, but you can buy pretty brown eggs, so I don't really think that they're that spectacular. Aww. Since I wasn't super thrilled with this, I decided to try a different form of beet. Hopefully, it's beeter. So this right here, this is dehydrated beets. I went and got this at my local co-op. I knew that beet powder was a lot more pigmented, so I was hoping it would make my eggs more pink, which is exactly how it turned out. Still not pink, but much prettier. On a scale of 1 to 5 eggs, I give beet powder a 3.5 eggs. I was researching a lot of articles about natural dyeing, and a lot of times they use flower petals. I wanted to keep it to something I could get at my grocery store or local co-op, and that's when I saw the hibiscus petals. So I boiled those, hoping they would turn into a really pretty purple or pink finished flower, and a lot like the blueberries, they turned out blue. They're very pretty, not the color I was going for though. On a scale of 1 to 5 eggs, I give hibiscus petals also a 3.5. pretty, not what I was going for. Matcha powder is all the rage right now. I've seen it on donuts, there's drinks, you can bake it into breads. I thought it's a beautiful green powder color. Maybe it would make a beautiful green egg. It did not, but it is a pretty lime green yellow egg. When you let these sit for a while, they actually do turn a vibrant color, kind of more of a yellow, which is great for Easter. But again, it's not exactly what I was looking for. I give matcha 3 out of 5 eggs. You can find turmeric in the spice aisle. It is this beautiful, vibrant gold color. You see the water, and it made these beautiful different shades of goldish, orange, light yellow. The variance of color again comes from the deepest hue was soaked overnight down to the lightest hue soaked for about 20 or 30 minutes. On a scale of 1 to 5 eggs, I give turmeric a 5. I think they're beautiful and springy and heavy. Next up is onion. All we did was use the peels, boiled them in the water, came up with this beautiful orange color, and this is the result. These are gorgeous, rust red, deep, deep orange. The yellow onion definitely gets 5 out of 5 eggs. I also tried red onion skins. A technique I'd seen when researching was wrapping my egg in the actual onion skins and putting it down in a piece of pantyhose and letting that come to a boil in the water. What resulted was this really cool kind of pattern that comes on your egg from the skins being wrapped around it contained. And it's really kind of neat. It wasn't what I thought would happen, and it's a different color than the yellow onion skins. It's more of a brown, but it's really kind of pretty. I give this a 4 out of 5 eggs. It feels so weird again.
Give me all your eggs, you know when it gets hurt. Did you always wanted to do that for some reason?
Kind of. I didn't even know if it would fit. I don't. Ever since I've seen the movie, I loved that movie when I was a kid. I loved it. Raising Arizona. Next up is parsley, which produced these beautiful green eggs. But we didn't get there just through this. Soaking them in the parsley did nothing. So I thought back to art class when I was a kid, and I remembered that blue and yellow make green. So I mixed in turmeric water and some of the blueberry, and it made this kind of strange color, which I wasn't sure what was gonna happen. But when you pull the eggs out, you get a beautiful green color. So skip the parsley, save it for your soup or your pasta. I give parsley a 0 on a scale of 1 to 5. But combining colors to make your own shades, I would give this one a 4 out of 5 eggs. And this is red cabbage, by far my favorite. They turned out beautifully. I kept reading that they would turn out blue. I didn't believe it till I saw it myself. They turn into this beautiful, beautiful shade of teal, blue. You see again the different variations of soaking all night, soaking multiple hours, and then down to about an hour for this really light blue one. But without a doubt, cabbage is my favorite. I give it 5 out of 5 eggs. There were good eggs and there were bad eggs, and there were just a lot of eggs. But after dyeing so many eggs, I've learned a few things I want to leave you with. First of all, I would recommend doing this no more than 2 or 3 days before you want to use them before your holiday. Because they don't have preservatives in them like a lot of the store-bought dyes, they really aren't going to keep for all that long. They'll stay vibrant and nice for a few days. Second, the longer you soak them, the more vivid your color is going to be. So if you've got the time, I really suggest soaking them overnight. Store your eggs and your dye in the refrigerator for at least up to a week. And don't stop just at eggs. Next, I'm going to try fabric, I think. Let us know in the comments below if you've tried this before. Are there other produce or spices that you've tried and had good or bad results with? Let us know below. Give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.